What I'm presenting you today is a story I wrote out of sheer boredom with some voice acting. Hope you enjoy it. Greetings to you. My name is Xavier. I'm a shadow spirit. I have big, circular glasses. You can't see my eyes. You'll regret seeing them. They're beyond what one would see. I have a black top hat. I have grey pants, black dress shoes, and a black jacket with guns inside the pockets. Let me ask you, have you ever heard of the newspaper article called Hell to the Immortals? You haven't? Let me re-encounter it to you then, detail by detail. It was a beautiful autumn evening. The air was nice and cool. It was filled with the beautiful smell of autumn with the leaves falling off the trees, and I was dying to kill something. Crunch, crunch, crunch. I smelled mortals. It was perfect to strike. One of them had sleek black hair. There was a cut on the boy's face. He wore a green, long-sleeved shirt and jeans. His friend had long, black, wavy hair. She wore a Daisy Dale school sweatshirt and sweatpants. The two seemed to be arguing. "God damn it, Eric! Why do you think that?" asked the girl. "Blame Mackenzie. She fills my head with this crap, Chloe," replied the boy. It seemed like it was up to me to put an end to this stupid dispute. I slowly approached them, with one of my guns in my hand that was in the pocket. They probably could hear me coming with the sound of the leaves being crunched. Eric was the first to be alarmed. "Who's there?" he demanded. I came out of the shadows, and I would forget the look on their faces. They looked at me like I was a psycho killer. Oh, that's right. I am one! Anyway, I had finally approached them. Chloe was looking rather confused. Oh, I remember. It's because Eric and I look very similar. Well, that's because I am him. The god of torture, Bualo, had summoned me to become him, to feel what hell he lives. Of course, Chloe didn't know that until I told her at one point. What do you want?" He had fear in his voice. "I want you, Eric," I replied to him, pulling out my pistol. "You don't mean—" He stepped in front of Chloe. She's not the one I want. It's you." I shot him through the heart, a heart broken beyond repair. The sound of my gun echoed in the area, and Eric fell to the floor. Chloe didn't realize what had happened for a little bit. Later she gasped. "Eric, what did you do to him?" she screamed at me. I simply smiled. "I put him out of his misery. Would you like to save him?" I asked her. She nodded at me. So then I extended my gun. The tip was facing me. "Place your hand upon the handle," I instructed her. She did as I thought. "Now what?" she asked. "You must quote what this paper says." I tricked her again, giving her a piece of paper. "Are you sure this will bring Eric back?" she asked with hesitation. "If you recite it correctly, you will bring him back." "Hakuma, Yugoslagia, Hiki, Enmio, Sukima." She had an interesting reciting voice. I spoke up. "You forgot to say something." She jumped. "What did I forget to say?" "Kaioken." "Kaio what?" Thunder and lightning appeared, and she began glowing blood red. She yelled in agony. I began laughing. What did you do to me? And is Eric coming back?" she asked. I laughed more. No, he'll never come back." "I tricked you. Expect hell soon," I told her. Then I left her screaming. I remember that scream. It was music to my ears. I should probably make note of how I was born. Waldo was fascinated by how Eric's life was. He asked me to absorb and take form of what burdens him. I'm a demon formed from anger, hatred, depression, and insanity. It was a week later after the death of Eric. Chloe had seemed to get past the point of crying. She was sleeping over at her friend Maggie's house. Xavier was coming too. No one would expect me to visit by. "So you're telling me some kid Xavier, who looks like Eric, killed him and left to take his body home?" she asked. Chloe nodded. "He just came, killed Eric, and left me to take Eric's body home saying he got shot," Chloe answered. Everything seemed so nice and calm in the cotton candy blue room. It seemed like Chloe could finally escape reality and just relax. Suddenly, I opened the door and shot Maggie through the heart. "No!" Chloe was shaking Maggie, but it was useless. She was dead. "Why did you kill her?" I smirked. "You should have told someone about the events of that night," I merely said. "What's the deal if I do? Why do you do this to me?" "Because it's my job to ensure you suffer. Expect more friends dying soon." "Bye!" And he disappeared. Why do I do this? Because I'm a demon. A demon formed from anger, hatred, and depression and insanity. Chloe was looking down at the river on the bridge, completely distressed. The place was depressing. The water was usually fast. The sky was a depressing shade of grey. She sighed. Every single one of her friends, Rochelle, Ray, Rianne, Katie, and Edward, have all been killed. She was crying. I have to do it. She pulled out a rope from her pocket and tied it around her neck. Goodbye, world. She jumped with the rope. Everything was suffocating her. It seemed like it was finally over after she faded to black. However, when she awoke, she noticed the rope was cut loose, and she was alive. How am I? She was shaking. Then I appeared behind her. It seemed she attempted suicide but failed. I put my hand on her shoulder, and she looked at me with a face full of rage. Why? Why did you kill my friends? She screamed. I ignored her question. I forgot to mention something that night. What did you forget to tell me? That you're immortal, I bluntly said. What? Immortal? Preposterous! That thing can never happen. Oh, but it has. Why me? She was so upset. I ignored her question. You can try as many times as you want. You won't die. You could get cancer and you won't die. She was sobbing uncontrollably. Why me? She wailed at me. I laughed. You were so perfect. You love to hurt people. No! The pain you feel now will stick with you until the end of life as we know it. She couldn't speak anymore. I hope to see you later. Then, except you won't die! Because you're immortal! I had begun laughing. I walked away humming. My job was done. My purpose has been fulfilled. Now, time to find someone else to mess over. Why? Because I'm a demon. A demon formed from anger, hatred, depression, and insanity. I hope you enjoyed my tale, and hope the same events never occur for you.